red-capped squirrel monkeys had a blast with pumpkins on a rope. Giraffes Maggie, Molly, and Ellie found leaves in cutout pumpkins for their breakfast. Happy Halloween to creatures great and small.
Time to pick out your pet's costume. A survey by the National Retail Federation for 2018 shows nearly 20% of people celebrating Halloween plan to dress up a Growloween party, and dogs were decked out in a variety of costumes, from the cute to the hair-raising.
And finally, we want to leave you with this video. Downy Emperor penguin chicks apparently marching on an icy school excursion in East Antarctic. The group is followed by an adult chaperone. Enjoy, everyone. We march into the weekend.
With intern Louie, that's this week's edition of Lola's Lowdown.
Thanks. I got to get us some costumes.
I was just going to say, they need costumes.
All right. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here Monday. News 3 at 5 starts right after this.
Right now at 5, former President Obama campaigning for Democrats in Wisconsin. We'll have live coverage of his event in Milwaukee.
We're learning more about the man accused of sending explosive packages to critics of President Trump.
This is News 3 at 5.
Thanks for staying with News 3. Democrats throughout Wisconsin are energized tonight after hearing from local and national Democratic leaders at a rally in Milwaukee.
Former President Barack Obama was there to make the case for Democratic candidates. And our Rose Schmidt joins us live from North Division High School in Milwaukee to tell us about the message he gave today. Rose?
Well, former President Barack Obama encouraged everyone at the rally today to vote in the midterm election, which he said could be the most important election of our lifetime. President Obama also talked about a number of issues, including health care and the Affordable Care Act. He mentioned Governor Walker's political ads saying pre-existing conditions will always be protected here in Wisconsin. But Obama says the only way that will happen is if Tony Evers and U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin are elected, as well as other Democrats. Obama also criticized President Trump and other politicians for what he called shamelessly lying.
But there's something at stake in this election that goes beyond party. What is at stake is a politics that is decent and honest and lawful.
There are important issues, not literally on the ballot, but figuratively on the ballot. Health care is on the ballot. Our environment and clean water is on the ballot. Equality is on the ballot.
President Obama encouraged people to vote Democrat to help protect public schools. Tony Evers made it clear in his speech that he will pump money into K-12 education and roads, which have become two key issues here in Wisconsin. But the message as a whole at this rally was encouraging people to vote, whether it's by early voting or at the polls next month. All the Democratic leaders who spoke today said you should go to the polls and bring your family and friends with you as well when you go vote.
Rose Schmidt reporting live from Milwaukee. Rose, thank you. Republicans across Wisconsin are reacting to President Obama's visit. U.S. Senate candidate Leah Vukmir tweeted, quote, "Remember, Barack Obama lied to you when he said if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. He's lying again now, and he won't even acknowledge that Tammy Baldwin wants to boot 3.4 million Wisconsinites off employee insurance and destroy Medicare." Governor Walker tweeted, "Barack Obama got the national PolitiFact lie of the year for saying if you like your health care plan, you can keep it. It takes some kind of gall for him to come into Wisconsin and lie again about health care and pre-existing conditions."
Governor Walker and Tony Evers will meet for another debate that is scheduled for tonight. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, WTMJ, and UW-Milwaukee are hosting the debate between the governor and his challenger, Evers, on the UWM campus. The most recent Marquette Law School poll showed the race between Governor Walker and Tony Evers to be a virtual tie. The governor held a 1-point lead over Evers, well within the poll's margin of error of 3.6%.
Political candidates are finding technology is the best way to engage college students, and that's why this election season they're texting them. Texting during the election season was first used on a large scale during the 2008 election and has escalated since. While it's illegal for companies to send texts to people who have not given consent, there's a catch. Political emails and texts are considered non-commercial, so they are exempt from the law. So far, the Madison chapter of Next Gen America has sent a record 1.5 million texts ahead of the midterms.
Young people communicate very frequently by text, so we're looking to reach young people where they are, whether that's by text or by talking to them at the doors or just on the street. Wherever students are, we're trying to engage.
We reached out to campus Republicans who agree that technology is helping engage the younger generation of voters. In a statement to News 3, they said, quote, "Instant messaging has been an invaluable method to communicate with members statewide, their friends and known contacts, and other young adults not otherwise reached about events and reminders to vote."
All right, the weekend upon us. Let's get a look at your first alert weather. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalta joining us in the Weather Center. Gary?
The skies have been cloudy for the last couple of days. Got a little bit of clearing that's trying to move in for a short period of time this evening. You can see that on visible cloud track, that area where the clouds thin out across south central Wisconsin. But to the west, though, the clouds are thickening up. And as far as rain is concerned, there are some light showers mainly north and west of La Crosse. Now, by the time those showers reach southern Wisconsin, the air is a little bit drier here, and I think a lot of those showers will fall apart. Low temperatures this morning, because of the cloud cover, stayed around 40 degrees. Here in Madison, we were exactly at 40, some 30s to the north, and around 40 or a little bit above to the south. High temperatures so far today, very similar to the last couple of days. 52 here in Madison, and that was the case across much of southern Wisconsin. Temperatures are right around the 50-degree mark right now. By tomorrow morning, temperatures should be in the upper 30s. Look for mostly cloudy skies. Just a slight chance of a shower tonight and during the day tomorrow with a high of 51. That's your first alert forecast.
All right, Gary, thank you. We're learning more about the man arrested in connection to 13 suspicious packages sent to critics of President Trump. Law enforcement officials put a tarp over a van in Plantation, Florida, not far from where they took 56-year-old Cesar Sayak into custody in connection with a series of explosive devices sent to prominent Democrats and CNN this week. Sayak, a South Florida resident originally from New York, has an extensive criminal record. Social media shows him at Trump rallies, and the van was covered with anti-Democrat and pro-Trump stickers.
I want to focus for a moment on the amazing work of our folks at the FBI lab. Based on their initial analysis, they uncovered a latent fingerprint from one of the envelopes containing an IED that had been sent to Congresswoman Maxine Waters.
More suspicious devices were found earlier Friday, including one addressed to former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, Senators Cory Booker and Kamala Harris, and prominent Democratic donor George Soros. The FBI says the devices are real and there may be more of them still out there.
A Madison man wanted in a Las Vegas homicide is now in police custody.
Madison officers caught the 21-year-old during a routine traffic stop Thursday. Our Keely Arthur has the details on this developing case. Keely?
Madison police say they don't have many details of the homicide, but it's enough for Las Vegas police to ask that Teron Wilhelmi be extradited back to Nevada as soon as possible.
Yeah, the Beltline's a frequent area of concern for our test teams.
It seemed like a relatively ordinary traffic stop Thursday around 10 a.m. for Madison police.
They're running LASAR, and all of a sudden some guy goes flying through there at 102 miles per hour.
And what officers found was a truly out of the ordinary record from out of state.
They started running him in the computer to figure out if he had anything that he was wanted for, and up popped a warrant out of Las Vegas for homicide.
Teron Wilhelmi was arrested and taken to Dane County Jail, where he is currently being held. A warrant was issued by Vegas police in June, but many details of the homicide are unclear. Las Vegas PD and the Clark County courts were unreachable today, as it is a state holiday in Nevada. What is known is Wilhelmi is 21 and believed to be a graduate of Madison East in 2015, seen here in yearbook photos. We reached out to one of his family members who declined to comment on a case that has even the Madison Police Department with lots of questions.
Why would he be going 102 if indeed he knew he was wanted for a homicide in Vegas? Now, whether or not he knew this or not, we don't know.
Las Vegas police want Wilhelmi extradited to them. It's unclear when that will happen or if Wilhelmi will contest them in Dane County Court.
Keely Arthur in the newsroom. Keely, thank you.
A disturbing story out of Beloit today. A woman has been arrested for beating and sexually assaulting her fiancé.
She told police she did it because tarot cards told her he was sexually assaulting her child. Amanda Quintana is here with some of those details. Amanda?
Yes, 30-year-old Precious Bailey says she's a medium and had visions that her 63-year-old fiance was sexually assaulting her 2-year-old son. She didn't believe the visions until she says tarot cards proved it. On Monday night, after he denied molesting her child, Bailey beat the man. She told police he blacked out and she sexually assaulted him with a screwdriver. He suffered burns, bruised ribs, a broken finger, and damage to his back from being whipped. Officers say there were too many injuries on his back to count. Police say he was traumatized for an extended period of time.
He had physical ailments that limited his ability to walk and defend himself. So this case not only being a domestic case, but it's an elderly abuse case.
Bailey told police she did to her fiancé exactly what she believed he did to her son. The next day, she made him go to the store to get cigarettes, and that's when he told an employee to call 911. Bailey is facing tentative charges of first-degree sexual assault, aggravated battery of an elderly person, and false imprisonment. Police say in their investigation, there is nothing to substantiate her claim that he was abusing her child.
Amanda Quintana here in the studio. Thanks, Amanda.
A Sun Prairie woman says she is innocent after receiving 2 OWIs in one night. Shannon McCann was in Dane County Court this morning. She was arrested twice last month for drinking while driving. First in the town of Blooming Grove. She was taken to the Dane County Jail and released to a responsible party. But just an hour and a half later, the same deputy spotted her in Madison, and she pleaded not guilty to all citations today.
And did you know what pleas you wanted to enter to either one of the cases? I can't accept a guilty or no contest plea in both cases simply for the reasons identified earlier, that legally one of them has to become a second offense if that's the plea in the other. But we certainly could resolve one of the 2 cases here today.
Yeah, I think not guilty.
McCann declined an interview.
The reward for information leading to the whereabouts of 13-year-old Jamie Kloss, whose parents were killed, has been doubled to $50,000. The search enters its 12th day, and investigators still haven't said if they have clues as to what was behind the attack and suspected abduction. The Barron County Sheriff's Department said the Genio Turkey store where James and Denise Kloss worked helped raise the reward from the $25,000 offered earlier by the FBI. Officials have now followed up on more than 1,700 tips. A retired veteran has claimed the $1 million winning Powerball ticket. The Wisconsin Lottery says Raymond Heft of Madison is the lucky player who won big in Wednesday's Powerball drawing. Lottery officials say Heft purchased his ticket at the Pick and Save on Shopko Drive on Madison's east side. Even though he won $1 million, no one won the Powerball jackpot. The next drawing is tomorrow night with an estimated jackpot of $750 million. There's more to come tonight on News 3 at 5. When we come back, the new steps the president says he'll take to keep a migrant caravan from entering the U.S.
And on Wall Street, after being crushed early in the day, the Dow rallies a bit, but still closes down almost 300 points. The Nasdaq off 151 points. The S&P lost 47. We'll be right back. The president sent a word of warning to thousands of people making their way to the U.S. border from Central America.
The president tweeted at the immigrants to turn around, saying, "We are not letting people into the United States illegally." The Trump administration is planning to send hundreds of active duty troops to the border to help strengthen security. The soldiers will assist the Border Patrol, building barriers and looking for people crossing illegally, but they do not have the authority to arrest illegal immigrants. Democrats say focusing on the border is the wrong approach.
If we could stop the flow of drugs, if we could curtail the level of violence in Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador, you would not have these migrants streaming forward trying to get into our country.
Mexican authorities on Wednesday estimated the caravan had about 3,600 people, about half of the 7,200 that the United Nations say were in the caravan earlier this week.
All right, the weekend upon us. For more on that in our weather outlook, let's go to Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti in the backyard patio. Gary?
Well, hopefully you like the weather the last couple of days, because the next couple of days are going to be just like we've had. Lots of clouds, not much in the way of rain, and the temperature is very similar to what we're seeing right now. Lower 50s for high temperatures, nighttime low temperatures, upper 30s. Visible cloud track shows mostly cloudy skies. A little bit of thinning in the cloud cover, though. Starting to get a little sunshine in the backyard right now, but as we look at Doppler track, you can see there are some light showers to our north and west, actually north and west of La Crosse. By the time those showers reach southern Wisconsin, they'll probably fall apart because the air here is a little bit drier, and you can see the rest of the state pretty much precipitation free. Now, our temperature trend over the last 24 hours shows that those temperatures have been within a range from the upper 30s to the lower 50s, only about a 10 to 15 degree range. When you have cloud cover, those temperatures don't move very much. And right now, the live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville shows a little bit of clearing over southwestern Wisconsin. The WISC Skycam also shows a little bit of sunshine, but skies are generally cloudy across southern Wisconsin. Edgewater Skycam, looking back toward the west, shows some sunshine. As we check out our almanac, or the current conditions right now, temperatures 50 degrees, winds out of the north-northeast at 8 miles per hour. Our dew point temperatures at 35 degrees. Over the next 7 days, those high temperatures generally at or just slightly below normal. Low to mid 50s through the middle of next week, but a big drop in temperatures toward the end of next week. High temperatures only around 40 from Friday into the following weekend. And the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook does call for near normal temperatures just to our west, above normal temperatures east of Wisconsin, and also along the west coast. Precipitation expected to be above normal through much of the country, with the highest probabilities over the northwestern and eastern portions of the nation. Now, current temperatures are in the upper 40s to around 50 through southern Wisconsin. No real cold air to speak of, but not a lot of mild air either. And weather track shows plenty of clouds and some scattered showers, but right now we're kind of in between those batches of showers. To our south and west, that's where the warmer air is, where there's not as much cloud cover. But as we look at weather track right now, the upper level winds are from the northwest. So those showers across Minnesota, northwestern Iowa, or northwestern Wisconsin are heading in our direction. They'll probably fall apart before they reach us because the air is a little bit drier here. But notice the temperatures, 40s and 50s here. You have to get over to parts of Kansas and Oklahoma before you see temperatures in the 70s. And on future track, you can see the clouds remaining, but you can see how those showers just kind of dissipate as they head towards southern Wisconsin. Our best chances of showers will probably be tomorrow night into early Sunday morning as a weather system passes just to our north. And we'll be warm enough, I think, that all precipitation should be in the form of rain and not see any snow mixed in. 37 for the overnight low temperature with cloudy skies, just a slight chance for a shower. Tomorrow about the same as today, cloudy, cool, slight chance for a shower, high temperature at 51. On future track, you can see plenty of clouds, not much in the way of rain, at least for tonight and tomorrow. Now, tomorrow night, you can watch those showers come in from the north and west. They'll be with us after midnight into early on Sunday morning, and then Sunday, the clouds remain. High temperatures will probably end up around 50 degrees, although they might turn a little cooler in the afternoon. 7 to 10-day forecast calls for those temperatures to remain in the 50s early next week. Some shower chances on Tuesday. That now puts Halloween Wednesday dry, but after that, some rain showers late Thursday will change or mix with snow on Friday, and then next weekend, very chilly, high temperatures only in the lower 40s. As we take a look at first alert traffic on a Friday afternoon, the Beltline moving pretty slowly around Fish Hatchery Road in both directions, but at least we're not seeing stop-and-go traffic there. Eastbound delays start around Monona Drive, go back to Verona Road. Westbound delays start around Fish Hatchery Road and head back to around John Nolan Drive. So a little worse in the eastbound direction, about a 23-minute commute from University Avenue to the interstate, only 16 minutes going back in the westbound direction. About a half hour now from the Beltline to Janesville on I-3990 as people start to head out of town on Friday. 19 minutes to Sauk City on US 12 and 20 minutes to Sun Prairie on US 151. That's your first alert traffic.
All right, thanks, Gary.
Still ahead at 5, how a new eye exam is helping detect serious issues with patients. We'll show you how it works after a short break. They have nothing. Welcome back. A high-tech eye test that diagnoses traditional eye problems, including glaucoma and cataracts, is now helping doctors detect serious health issues.
Chris Martinez shows us how it works.
Put your forehead all the way forward. Are you comfortable?
Yes. 3 years ago, Allie Mateus went to the optometrist with pain in her eyes.
Something was strange in my eye, and I had never felt the pain before, so I really wanted to figure out exactly what was going on.
Get closer until it turns green.
The 26-year-old had a test using this machine called the OptoMap. It allows doctors to examine the eyes without dilation, which leaves patients with blurry vision for hours.
It's very inconvenient for people because we all have busy lives.
The machine takes a digital high-definition scan of the eye and optic nerve. Those scans can reveal signs of conditions like cancer and high blood pressure.
We could zoom in if I see something suspicious to get a better detailed image of it.
Dr. Diane Song says the technology has helped her diagnose illnesses in several patients, including a breast cancer survivor.
She actually had a metastasis of her breast cancer go into her eyes, and we were able to see it on the OptoMap images.
In Allie's case, Dr. Song found optic neuritis, which can be a warning sign for multiple sclerosis.
It turned out after MRIs and other testing that I did have multiple sclerosis.
An early diagnosis has helped her fight back.
The fact that I'm on medication now and able to start lessen the lesions that I'm going to have over time is so significant.
She says it otherwise could have been years before doctors discovered her disease. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Santa Clarita, California.
The OptoMap test is not covered by all insurance plans. It typically costs about $40.
And stay with us. We'll have another check of your forecast in just a moment.
Finally at 5, it may be the greatest catch that never counted.
The Houston Texans and Miami Dolphins played in Thursday Night Football last night. Keep an eye, the top of your screen. Deshaun Watson, the quarterback's going to air it out some 40 yards down the field. He finds DeAndre Hopkins, who makes an incredible one-handed catch. He gained possession of that ball through his legs. Not sure if we have the slow-mo here, but here, check this out. I mean, this is unbelievable. Unfortunately,
wow.
After doing that, it was called back because Hopkins was called for offensive pass interference. This is unbelievable, but they still won the game, 42-23.
Temperatures in the 50s the next 7 days, but some shower chances toward the end of the week, maybe mixing with snow as it turns colder by Friday.
All right, stay tuned for the CBS Evening News. Thanks for joining us.